Hey everyone, it's DinaKalmeta here. And for today's news, I just wanted to bring you guys a few updates to get you caught up. And I want to start with what's happening in Russia. Religious persecution continues to intensify in Russia as courts shut down 3 additional Baptist churches in October for operating without government registration. The banned congregations located in the southern region belong to the Historic Council of Churches of Baptists, a network that has already seen 7 others outlawed this year. Established during the Soviet era to resist state control, the council remains unregistered to preserve its independence from government interference. A Russian attorney described the growing campaign against believers as a witch hunt, questioning lawmakers' motives for passing laws that punish rather than protect religious freedom. And once a church is banned, it is forbidden from meeting anywhere in its district, effectively criminalizing Christian worship outside state oversight. The wave of suppression underscores a growing spiritual darkness settling over Russia, where faith is once again viewed as a threat to the regime. The same spirit of control that defined the Soviet atheism has reemerged under new labels of security and legality. Now, in the meantime, in a striking display of religious discrimination, Chicago Public Schools has barred education students from the Moody Bible Institute from participating in its student teaching program because the school upholds biblical teachings on marriage and sexuality. Moody, one of the nation's most respected Christian colleges, founded in 1886 by evangelist Dwight L. Moody, filed a federal lawsuit this week with legal representation from Alliance Defending Freedom. According to the ADF attorney, CPS demanded that Moody abandon its biblical hiring standards and employ individuals who reject the school's faith-based mission in order to gain access to the classrooms. Despite Illinois approving Moody's degree program in 2024, CPS continues to block Christian student teachers, claiming Moody's hiring practices as discriminative based on gender identity and sexual orientation. Now, for prophecy watchers, this case shows us the growing hostility towards biblical truth in America's public institutions. The very city that once hosted Dwight L. Moody now seeks to silence his legacy in the name of tolerance. Jesus warned that you will be hated by all because of my name, Matthew 10:22, and that warning now echoes through the halls of academia. This attempt to force Christian schools to conform to secular ideology mirrors the broader trend of coercing believers to compromise their faith for cultural acceptance. As persecution against those who stand for biblical morality intensifies, the line between Caesar and Christ grows clearer. The question is no longer if Christians will take a stand, but when. Now, on the other hand of the spectrum, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Christian music is everywhere. A few days after the star singer Forrest Frank fell off of his skateboard, crashed into a wall, and fractured 2 vertebrae, he previewed a new track about the accident on TikTok. Now, a former member of the pop duo Surfaces has exploded in the past year by making Christian music that pairs hip-hop inflected beats with relentlessly sunny lyrics. Though he was in excruciating pain, his tune aimed for uplift, singing "God's got my back, even when I fall or get attacked." So good news there. They're saying that Christian music is everywhere. And actually, if you guys are listening closely, you will hear it all across social media. And it doesn't end there. Some more good news. Jenna Jameson has moved beyond her adult film actress past in order to help others find Jesus. She opened up about her redemption as she reflected on her past career choices. She said, "After decades of being known for my body and sin, getting baptized and helping others find Jesus. She's now switching sides, and she's being loud and proud about her walk with Jesus. She believes that boldly proclaiming her love for Jesus is helping open so many other people's eyes to the truth that no one is beyond redemption." So certainly some good news to go with the bad news. But I would like to switch gears and talk about what is going on with Elon Musk. Elon Musk's Neuralink is once again pushing the boundaries of science and morality as the company's head of surgery, Danish Hussain, teased that direct human-to-robot interfacing could happen very soon. The comment came in response to a video showing a test subject controlling a robotic arm via telepathy. While the demonstration remains unverified, he hinted at an eventual integration with Tesla's humanoid robot, Optimus. Neuralink has already implanted chips in 12 human subjects, though reports from early recipients reveal mixed and sometimes concerning results. Despite these risks, Musk continues to frame the merging of a man and machine as humanity's next great leap, even claiming that robots will soon make up 80% of Tesla's value. But we know that Neuralink's ambitions represent more than technological advancement. They signal a spiritual descent into the transhumanist dream of self-de-edification. What Musk calls innovation may well be the infrastructure of a global system that we read about in Revelation, where humanity's dependence on technology actually becomes its chains. New York Post is reporting that a Silicon Valley startup backed by OpenAI Sam Altman and Coinbase's Brian Armstrong is pursuing research that some fear could lead to the birth of a genetically engineered baby, a step that's actually illegal under U.S. law and banned in most countries. The company Preventive says its goal is to end hereditary disease by editing human embryos before birth, a claim that has ignited fierce debate over safety, ethics, and the specter of designer children. Preventive, which was founded earlier this year by gene editing scientist Lucas Harrington, has raised $30 million and set up headquarters in San Francisco, where it's conducting research on modifying embryos to prevent hereditary disease. The company says its mission is to prove that technology can be made safe and transparent before any attempt of creating a baby is made. So for right now, this type of designer babies is banned. But I could actually see this succeeding in the future, just the way things are going right now, with all of the mixing of the DNA as we've seen in Genesis. So definitely some very interesting reports there. But I would like to talk about another article in regards to a bee with a very interesting name that has just been discovered. Australia now has a new creepy critter, a Lucifer Bee with devil-like horns. The species was found in the state of Western Australia, according to Curtin University on Tuesday. Kit Prendergast at the University School of Molecular and Life Sciences discovered the bee while surveying a critically endangered wildflower in 2019 and was immediately drawn to the insect's unique appearance. She said the female had these incredible little horns on her face. Her being a fan of the Netflix TV show Lucifer said the name was a perfect fit for the bee's distinctively devilish appearance. She said it's the first new member of this bee group to be described in more than 20 years, which really shows how much life we still have to discover. She hopes that her discovery will raise awareness about the number of undiscovered species that could still be out there, especially in areas threatened by mining. I found this article very interesting because A, there are a lot of species out there that we have yet to discover, but there will be a very interesting species during the tribulation in the book of Revelation, chapter 9. And I'm just going to read a little bit of it to you, and I've shared this before in this channel, but maybe you're new here and you have never heard of this before. But we're going to start at Revelation 9, verse 1. Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. Then out of the smoke locusts came upon the earth. And to them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. They were commanded not to harm the grass or the earth or any green thing or any tree, but only those men who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. Their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. In those days, men will seek death and will not find it. They will desire to die, and death will flee from them. The shape of the locust was like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were crowns of something like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. They had hair like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth, and they had breastplates like breastplates of iron. And the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots with many horses running into battle. They had tails like scorpions, and there were stings in their tails. Their power was to hurt men for 5 months. And they had a king over them, the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek he has the name Apollyon. So what does all of this mean? Well, a new type of insect will be discovered during this time of tribulation on earth. The star falling from the sky is described as a living being that descends rapidly to earth. It is probably an angel who carries out God's judgment. The abyss or bottomless pit is a place of imprisonment for the demons. These locusts represent an increased number of demons and demonic activity that will be released on the earth during the tribulation. They have the power of scorpions to cause unbearable pain and misery. Their assault is directly against those who have not repented of their sins, sought Jesus for salvation, and of course, the wicked. But they will have the power to inflict this pain for 5 months. And no matter what anybody tries to do to relieve the pain, it's going to be impossible. And this is just one of the judgments that will come on the earth during that time. Can people be saved after the 5 months? Yes, as long as they have not taken the mark. They will have an opportunity to be saved. But I just thought to bring this up because the bee itself and the name of the bee reminded me of this type of an insect that will be on the earth during those days. Now, the image that you see on the screen was created by ChatGPT, and they look kind of creepy. I can't even imagine what it would be like seeing one of those in person. But this will eventually happen. And I encourage you guys to tune in to our Revelation show with Susan Davis. I've been posting those on Fridays, so you will learn more about these types of judgments during those shows. But with that said, I have one last report I'd like to share with you, and this one is kind of personal. What is going on with our pasta? More than a dozen of Italy's top pasta brands may soon vanish from American grocery shelves as tariffs totaling 107% take effect. A move that could make selling their pastas in the U.S. nearly impossible, according to the Wall Street Journal. The new duties combine America's 15% tariff on European Union goods with a 92% penalty from a U.S. trade probe accusing Italian pasta makers of undercutting American competitors. In a recent anti-dumping investigation, the U.S. Department of Commerce found that 2 major producers sold pasta in the United States for less than fair market value. Officials said that both companies failed to provide full documentation during the review, resulting in a preliminary 91.74% anti-dumping duty on their pasta. The same steep rate was also slapped on 11 other Italian favorites, bringing the total to 13 brands. The decision covers pasta sold between July 2023 and June 2024 and makes importing Italian spaghetti and rigatoni more expensive than ever. So that is definitely a very concerning report right there. Being Italian, we love our pasta. So hopefully they'll get it figured out. But those are your headlines for today. Please do leave your comments below this video. I want to hear from all of you. And if you are a pasta lover, let me know in the comments. Also, when you have some time, come and visit me on our social media pages as well as our website at www.cww7news.com. All right, everybody, until next time, God bless and stay safe.